Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is brought to you by Prezzo.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the frim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We are in Palm Beach County, Boca Raton, at one of our favorite places, Prezzo Italian restaurant. And we have a new face sitting beside us because our man, Eddie Pozzuoli, part of P Hospitality, there's no rest for him. He's a completely, I don't want to call him Crazy Eddie, but he is completely insane because every time he has a new activation and gets a restaurant open, he says, "Oh, let me open another one." And so today, as we get loaded up onto the Let's Eat South Florida group, we're approaching 230,000 members. Thank you, everybody out there, for joining and telling people about it and for tuning into the Lunchbox every day. But we are joined by P Hospitality's Director of Marketing and Public Relations. She is relatively new to the organization, but they have so many new restaurants and the ever-expanding empire. But we welcome to the show for her Lunchbox debut, Gabby Favita. How are you doing, Gabby?
I'm great.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure to be back in Prezzo, Boca. For those of you who don't know, it is at 5560 North Military Trail, one of the two Prezzos that grace us in South Florida. The other one is in Palm Beach Gardens. And I will let you give the rundown of everything else going on with P Hospitality. But just first of all, how are you doing this fine January day? And how are things going here at Prezzo and the one up in Palm Beach Gardens?
Yes, Prezzos are doing great. I'm doing great. The Prezzos are busy. We're in the middle of season, or the beginning, I guess, of season.
Yeah.
And we're excited. Prezzo's a great neighborhood restaurant. And I think it really shows during season how fantastic the turnout is from the community to the Prezzos.
Well, Lubie, you and I are sitting here by the wood-burning oven, which is one of the hallmark features of Prezzo. And this place is historic in terms of original founder Burt Rappaport, and, of course, Eddie teamed up with him a few years back and now is kind of running the show here at the Prezzos. But Prezzo Boca, when it first opened, was the first restaurant in South Florida to install a wood-burning oven. And
okay.
Prezzo,
Okay.
well, I'm the noted food critic and historian here, so I know things like this.
You.
And but they then expanded, and Prezzo at one point was had several locations, including one that I always went to in Aventura. But now it's kind of consolidated. But the one here in Boca is still going strong and still turning out those great wood oven pizzas and the garlic bulbs that are roasted,
Yes.
and the focaccia bread. So, yeah, just talk about what's been going on here as we are in peak season.
Yes, so going into season this year, we took a look at our menu at Prezzo and we did some changes on it. We added a new pizza, which we'll try today, which is the sausage pizza, as well as a couple main items that are available on the dinner menu. And we've been really taking some feedback from the community on what they're looking for and been able to address that in our menu. So we're really excited.
Yeah, and I'm excited because I am hungry. I did eat breakfast, and I love coming in here because it's comfort Italian food, Italian American, all your favorites, the chicken parms, and then I see that you've brought back kind of the lunch specials, and now it's kind of a rotating lunch special of the day for $15, right?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so it's $12 for
12.
our lunch special.
Oh, great.
And
$12.
it's different every day. So on Mondays, we have a certain item that's featured. So it'll rotate between a chef's pizza, a sandwich, a pasta entree, and it changes daily. So we have some great chefs within our organization, and it gives them the opportunity to get really creative with different items. And we've had some great stuff come out on the specials that have actually hit the menu. The sausage pizza, I believe, is one of them that they were just kind of playing around with, and that's something that stuck, and we were able to add on to the menu. So something fun to let our chefs do.
And then because you have the proper Italian touch, I know that on the menu, I think they describe it as the salsiccia pizza, which in Brooklyn we said sausage. But,
Yes.
So it's going to be a treat. And the the sandwich of the day, that is the lunch special, I believe, is eggplant parm.
Ooh.
And
Yes.
Lubie, you said you're an eggplant
I
parm fan?
love eggplant parm, and
Yeah.
we rarely get it because I'm with you and my wife, and it has to be authentic Italian, high level. I like red sauce Italian. I'm an American. I'm a South Floridian. I like all levels of Italian, and that's why I love Prezzo, because you do house-made pasta here, so you do embrace all levels of Italian. But I do love that you do have a chicken parm and you do eggplant parm, so it covers all your Italian favorites and more here at Prezzo.
Especially when we get into the winter months here, when we
Yes.
sometimes do get a little bit of a cold front all the
snap,
way down
as
in
they
the
call it.
60s or 50s or sometimes the 40s. But you just throw on a blanket of cheese and some red sauce, and I'm a happy fat man. So no, and again, eggplant parm was my late dad's favorite. He would
It's my
always
dad's
order
favorite, yep.
eggplant parm everywhere he went. So I'm glad that we're gonna
My dad does.
get that on the table. But yeah, so before we get into food and eating the lunch, let's just give a quick rundown. Since we last saw Eddie, and he looked very tired going into the holidays, and we congratulated him.
A great year.
Big
for P.I.
2025.
We're going to slow down in
He
2026.
opened up Eddie and Vinny's. But wait, there was more. He opened up Dear Olivia, which is when you joined the outfit.
Yes.
And then, but wait, there's more. He ended up teaming up with the Amante family, a longtime place in Deerfield Beach, and kind of helped them do their renovation, relaunch, rebranding. Then we did a show there with Bob and his son, and that place looks like it's going great. And you figure 3 is enough for 1 year. Maybe let them kind of find their sea legs. But no, what happened? What did Crazy Eddie do next?
Right at the end of the year, we almost made it to January. We announced that we will be opening a new concept called Ember and Vine in Coral Springs, and that will be opening this summer. It will be kind of a Napa Valley inspired California Mediterranean.
Ooh.
A lot of
And
grilled meats and
Yes.
Like a healthy
fresh
fire
veggies. Yeah.
and a great wine menu. And
Olive oils and the like. Yeah.
yes,
that's
we're
good.
very excited for it. I think it's going to be something different in the area, and we'll have a coffee program, and we're partnering
Oh,
with
wow.
we're partnering with some great
coffee
local
program.
organizations or local
Yes.
businesses to
That's
highlight
amazing.
them through our restaurant. So we're very excited.
And Ember and Vine, obviously, there will be wine and lots of great
Yes.
California Cabernets and all the different varietals that you find in the Napa Valley and Sonoma. And this is, again, part of why we both love Eddie, and we also scratch
for
our
him.
heads and feel for him, because this, I understand, was all originated with a vacation of all things when
Yes.
him and Christina, who I understand is your sister, right?
Yes.
That they took a trip, and instead of doing R&R, he was doing R&D.
Yes. So they went up to Napa for her birthday, and they just love Napa. It's something that
Yeah, the
feeling
vibe,
of
yeah.
Napa
That's
is
gorgeous.
something
Yeah.
that
Well,
they
the
wanted
California
to bring
wine
back.
country is like ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they were out and about, and they said, "Oh yeah, let me this
Let me
this.
bring this home. Yeah. Essentially.
the man he can't be, he's like one of these great offenses in football or basketball. You can't stop him.
Never
You
know.
can only hope to
Hope you
contain him.
Yes.
And at this point, there's no containing him.
No.
So tell us about Ember and Vine. I know, like Eddie, that's why he couldn't join us today, and instead we get your lovely presence.
yeah.
But like him and Jeff Tunks, the director of culinary for
Jeff,
P
yep.
Hospitality, are already meeting with various suppliers and getting things all ready. And this is the kind of thing that the work involved with opening a restaurant. I guess a lot of people don't realize
Yes.
how many months and how many hours go into opening, a new activation, as they call it, right?
Yes. So we started working on Ember and Vine a couple months ago, creating the concept. It was something that really was rolling around in their head. And after that trip to Napa, it kind of sparked that in
Mhm.
them. And we're really excited for it. There's a lot of intention that's going into everything we're doing with Ember and Vine to have that light and bright feel and be able to transition from the daytime into the nighttime and hold some good value in Coral Springs. And we're really excited to be able to bring that to Coral Springs.
Well, as a
So-
Coral Springs resident, I'm really in love with P Hospitality because we've already have a nice, ever-growing food culture. I don't feel bad calling it that because we do have that. And you guys, between Parkland and Coral Springs, have done a really good job at embracing that and then taking it to another level.
Yes. And that's something that we're going to continue. We really want to make sure that Ember and Vine fits that standard that we hold across all of our restaurants in P Hospitality. And it's really exciting. It's really exciting on my end to see from kind of the concept and the
Conception.
logo
Yeah,
design and
conception. Yeah,
down
where-
to the
yeah.
colors and the finishes on everything. And it's really cool to see. And you're able to kind of follow along with us in that process, which is something that is kind of special because we're not just opening the doors and saying, here it is. There's a lot that goes into it, and especially having the P Hospitality name in that area.
So once again, it's going to projected opening sometime summer Q3 of 26, right?
Yes.
And where is it going to be located again?
So it's right off University in the Angio Elia location.
Oh, okay. He
Yes.
took over the spot that used to be the Angelo Ilia Pizza and Pasta Tapas,
Tapas.
whatever. they're
Oh,
called.
okay.
Mhm.
Right. And I guess Angelo kind of divested himself from his, it was kind of more of the, more casual place. And he's focusing on what his specialty is, which
Yes.
is like fine dining, high-end
Yes.
Italian. And he's still got his great restaurants, and we thank him, the past sponsor of the show.
Mhm.
So you're taking over a space that people are already familiar with as a restaurant,
Yes.
but now it's going to be kind of relaunching, rebranded to that California healthier grilled vibe.
Lighter.
Mhm.
I guess, like Lubie was saying, it's nice to see somebody focusing on an area where it's long known as a bedroom community, a suburb,
Yep.
but people there want to eat dinner and they just don't want to order out every night, right? And that's
Mhm.
why you feel there's a need there to keep bringing more and more.
Yeah, and I think this restaurant is going to fill that gap between Eddie and Vinny's and Dear Olivia.
Mhm.
And it'll be a great addition to our portfolio out there. And we hope that the community welcomes it with open arms, and we're really excited.
Well, and you said an interesting word because that's one thing you guys have done. And that's why he laughed about the Dear Olivia, because his family's there, Paul's family's there, your guys are there, Christina's family's there, and then the commissioner's there, the mayor's there, like of Parkland. But also the same thing happened with Eddie and Vinny's. Like, you guys have realized and been very smart about not only presenting a product that the community will enjoy, but ingratiating yourselves within the community, whether it's charitable works, whether it's local businesses, whether it's trying to, because that's what's funny what Eddie was saying. He's like, yeah, we eat at Sicilian because the same oven's right across the street. We eat there all the time, and we're cool with Fat Boys Barbecue, and we're really cool with La Spada. Like, it's like, okay, so you're dealing with the actual businesses in the area as well, and they've really sort of made it one big happy family, which I appreciate. And it's something Mayo's always talked about is, instead of competition, it's more about working together to bring up an area, to bring more people to the
lift
area.
all
Yes.
boats. And once people know of an area as, oh, this is a good place for food and restaurants,
Keep coming back.
and they'll keep checking out the different places, correct?
Yeah, and I think that's something that really makes P Hospitality special is we're not coming in and just throwing a dinner on your
Mhm.
table and
Mhm.
turning your table. It's something that there's a lot of heart and a lot of family and a lot of people involved that are really focused on bringing excellence every day. And, we get feedback all the time, and we really take it to heart because we want everyone who walks in to have a great experience, and that genuine hospitality that we feed into is really important to us. So we have a great community in Parkland and Coral Springs, and as well as Boca and Deerfield and Palm Beach Gardens. We're just
and I was
yeah,
I
we're
was going to
lucky.
have the quick rundown because it's funny when we first got aligned with Eddie and he was linking up with Bert.
Mhm.
At that point, P Hospitality was just basically his involvement with Prezzo and Corvina, which he started to manage from a group from Washington D.C. that opened that, and Corvina is a seafood restaurant on the east side of Boca.
Yep.
And now I got to keep it straight in my head now. So let's do the full run.
Yes, I was
Yes.
doing that on the
We've
way
got-
in because on the door there's only 3 restaurants. I'm like, oh, they're
Really?
slow on the
Okay.
uptake.
Now there's 6 going on
Yes.
7.
Yes.
Right?
So we're at 6 going on 7. So the first one was Prezzo Boca.
Yep.
Then we expanded to Prezzo Palm Beach Gardens.
Right.
Then we took on operations of Corvina and Boca.
Right.
And then we opened Eddie and Vinny's in Coral Springs.
Right, which is
Then-
on Sample Road, and it used to be his family's Tavolina
Tavolina,
della
yep.
Notte, but they rebranded it as Eddie and Vinny's.
Yes. And then we opened Dear Olivia in Parkland.
Right.
We partnered with the Montes for the opening
Montes
of the
in
new
Deerfield
location of
Beach.
Which has
Montes.
been a
Yep.
monster.
Which is great. It looks beautiful in there.
It's
Is that
fantastic.
doing well?
Yes,
Yeah.
it does great. It's such a different vibe because it has such a great walk-in presence of people just seeing
People
it down at
coming
the
in
beach.
from the beach, having happy hour.
Yeah.
And
But
again,
it's like
the
a really
Monte
nice place.
family, they're, entrenched in the community. They've been there for
Yes.
like 50 years.
They have a great reputation in the community. They have some fantastic regulars that are diehard Amontes people, and
Mhm.
it's very interesting to go in and see that different dynamic because that's the most foot traffic restaurant that we're a part of.
Oh, that's
And
funny.
Right.
yeah, it's
And
very
then-
interesting.
It's right by the beach.
And
yeah.
now
Mhm.
coming up next will be
Ember and
Ember
Vine.
and Vine
Nice.
again, coming in the summer of 26. And what really strikes me about Eddie and P Hospitality and the whole team, very strategic in that you are partnering with people.
Yes.
So, like, you first partnered with Burt Rappaport, legendary restaurateur, and everybody loves Burt, especially us here at the Lunchbox.
Yes, big fans.
And then he partners up, with the Amonte family. He partners up with Paul Greenberg, who had some success in, previously with American Social. And so it's, and of course, partnering with his own dad, who, the family ran
Tavolino,
Tavolino for a while. So, I mean, with a foundation like that, it's not surprising that there's been this much success and also this much growth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting about Christina and Eddie's philosophies in general is they don't need to know everything. They're bringing people to the table who are good at what they do, and they let you do what you're there to do. And I think that is where growth really lies. And to be able to scale on the pace that we're doing and the level that we're doing, it's really a testament to the team that they built and the teams in the restaurant and the outreach from the community as well.
And they pay attention to details, but they don't micromanage. I
Yes.
guess that's what you're saying.
And-
And you let people grow and do what they do.
Yeah.
And that really fosters a feeling of just good teamwork, right?
Yeah, and they're around. Like
Yes.
it's amazing how much they are physically in the restaurants
Have
for
they
service.
cloned themselves without
I
telling us?
I
Because
have no
how
idea.
can they be in that many places at once?
It's crazy. Yeah, they're always on the go. They're around all the time.
But
and
they're in a tight circle. I mean,
Yes.
these restaurants are clustered fairly closely together, except
Mhm.
for Palm Beach Gardens, which is a little bit of a hike. But man, that whole corridor up there, it's on PGA Boulevard, and it's just the explosion of growth up
Yes.
there is it's great to see. So, all right, let's get into the food here. We did
Yes.
start picking at a
I did. I
salsiccia
pounded it.
sausage pizza.
It's actually nice and thin, and I understand that crust should be eaten, especially on a pizza that's done right. But I usually don't eat it. It's just extra carbs. I couldn't stop myself. And that's why I like featuring the oven. The wood-fired oven might have been the first place. It's still kicking because that was wonderful. That was a really nice slice of pizza.
Beautiful,
And the bread has a
beautiful
great,
sauce.
great flavor.
And again, that wood char. Okay, I'm gonna hold this up
And
here.
it's not burnt. It's charred.
The edges have this beautiful
but it has a flavor.
char. Okay.
Yeah.
And people look at it, and especially when people post pizzas on the group and they say, that's burnt. No, it's not burnt, people.
It's on purpose.
We've got to educate you. We're going to learn you real good. And it's got the beautiful undercarriage. I'm talking Dave Portnoy language here, but
It's really good.
it's got the perfect char, great flavor. I love this thin crust. The sauce is quality.
Yeah.
The
cheese is fantastic.
the sausage, and a little fresh basil snipped on it. So job
Yes.
well done
This is
on the new
we
pizza.
have great pizza here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now you
Some-
can hear the crunch. Yeah.
We also have a new pasta. This is our Prezzo pesto, and it's a pesto-based pasta. And it has some sun-dried tomatoes and some chicken in it.
Mm.
And it's a great option for
Mayo's about to bite your face.
That looks like- yeah, no, I'm not-
it's a great option
Sorry,
for lunch
Gabby.
or dinner.
No appendages will get harmed in this
He's like,
filming.
I see it. I see it.
I do want to sample, and it's got the whatever you call it, the radiated pasta.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think this is another example of something that was one of our chef specials for lunch that was just a hit, and people came back and asked for it, so we were able to add it on our regular menu.
That's chunky and hearty, and
Look
also
at the noodle.
really
I like
good
that
for
noodle.
wintertime. Yeah, go
Wanna try
for it.
some?
That's a fun
Go for it.
noodle.
Yeah, the radiatory. It's shaped like a little twist.
Yes.
The radiated pasta. I got my mouth full. Apologies.
And then this is our sandwich special, which rotates on a weekly basis. So,
Okay, so it's by
every
weekly.
Thursday we do a featured sandwich. So
Right.
you get it once a week, and it rotates. This is our eggplant parm sandwich, which I'm very excited about.
Yes,
I love
I'm so
eggplant.
excited. I'm going to grab a half and just start chowing down on it.
Go
Sorry,
for it.
Lubie,
Please
I'm
come
not
from Miss
cutting it in
Gabby. She literally
quarters.
just
No,
said she's
you're
excited about it.
No, I want you to try it as well.
And look at this.
You're our
It's-
eggplant guy.
It's just dripping
We'll
with
cut
the
that.
melted cheese, and I don't know which end to attack it on. I'll go from this
It's
end.
right in the center.
I used to do something called the big bite. All my doctors have told me to stop doing that, but I'm going to have to restrain myself because this
Eddie
is
was
a
a big fan
beautiful,
of it.
hefty sandwich. I'm going to just take a nice little nibble.
Oh, Miss Gabby, I don't know if you want some. There you
Yeah.
go.
Oh yeah, delicious,
Oh,
beautiful.
look at all the cheese.
Yeah,
looks
They're
delicious.
never
Super
chintz
cheap.
about anything here. That's what I appreciate with you guys.
Mm.
It's always nice
Now,
portions,
Lubie,
nice
you-
sizes.
You can have at this.
Besides doing shows here at Prezzo Boca,
Go
once
ahead.
again, 5560 North Military Trail in Boca Raton, just north of Yamato Road. You've actually come in here for family celebrations, right?
Well, and I plan on coming here again. It's funny. My wife's family wanted like an Italian-ish place. What was it, a year or so ago? And they couldn't think of it. And it's funny, of all things, my wife was like, "What about Prezzo?" And it's not that I forget Prezzo. It's just we don't get to Boca a lot. You know, I was thinking they either wanted to keep it close. We all live in Coral Springs, or head out east. And I was like, well, Prezzo's perfect, because what I like about Prezzo is it feels like a mom and pop style place in the kind of food you guys serve and the quality, but it has an elevated feel to it and look to it. So I'm like, okay, you get a little bit of both. You're not up here where the prices are insane. You're not down here where it can be loud and a little bit much. You're in the middle. It's casual. It's a nice vibe, but it's also really good food. So we came here with them. And then my brother's birthday is coming up soon, and he wants some more Italian as well. And he also does it. We're not trying to do highfalutin because there's kids and stuff. And we've been to Eddie and Vinny's for my mom's 70th, actually. Because
Eddie
that
Vinny's,
is
I'm still dreaming
elevated
of the short rib
and
pappardelle.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Like the
delicious.
food is fantastic. It is elevated. It is a nice Saturday night vibe, but my brother didn't want that. So for his birthday, I'm like, I think we should go to Prezzo. Like, I mean, it covers every base. And again, house-made pasta, still very elevated type food if you want that, but it also has red sauce Italian as well. So yes, it's somewhere we come because we do work with you guys, but I also just love it. Like I would come on a Saturday, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday. And again, you guys are great about, you're doing Wind Down Wednesdays still, your half price Wednesdays, and you do all these different deals and happy hours and great. Mayo, literally, when you said 15, I'm like, wow, that's insane. You're like, no, it's not 15, it's 12. I'm like, what?
Right.
How is anyone doing
Which
a
is
$12?
like, it's almost it's on the same level.
It's a
as
real
pulling
lunch.
up to one of these fast food joints, a drive-through window, you get a combo meal. Now it's practically the same price.
It's not. It is
and the
same price.
quality is so much better here, and you get service and that family feel.
And they get you in and out if you really need to be. Like they don't hold you hostage here either. So it's a really great establishment. You guys do a really good job, and I appreciate that you guys bring, like you said, the consistency. And it's something you brought up. We keep saying Eddie. It's Eddie and Christina. That's one thing we've realized. In the early days, Christina was around and she was involved. We didn't realize how involved. And I think Eddie actually said it. He's like, oh, it's all her. He's like, thank God for her. But it's not that they're the wife and husband tandem that get it.
And now it's also Gabby.
And Gabby's
And of course
involved.
Jeff
But
and David Garcia.
What
the
I think
other
is
chef.
cool is so often in restaurant business is one's working so much, they miss the other. They work so well together.
Yes.
And it's not just in what, like she's actually overtaking a lot of the similar things he's doing. You guys have now hired a team that's in concert with the two of them. And it feels like everyone treats each other like family, not employees or business partners. And it's working out really well because every opening you guys are just hitting it out of the park.
Yeah, and that's something that's really important to both Eddie and Christina is as we scale, building that team of people that we trust and are on the same wavelength and that are going to. Eddie's the type that runs through walls, and
Right. Yeah, we can tell.
you have to keep up. And I think that having that team of people who are like, okay, let's go.
He's
We're gonna
young and energetic.
You
And I
embrace
don't
it.
know how he
You
does it,
embrace it.
especially with the the family, the young
Yes.
kids, and all that. But he's doing it, and
Yeah.
that's great. Let me ask you, because you come from a background where you worked for various municipalities, government. What prompted you to say yes to jump into? Look,
Were they
let's
crying?
face
You're like,
it,
"Please,
the
Gabby."
hospitality business, government now. Some of them have 4-day work weeks. Our friend Arlene,
Mhm.
they have Monday through Thursday. They're off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They have bankers
It
hours.
made it a little
Yes.
easier for people.
Restaurants are not like that.
No, and my only restaurant experience in high school, I was a hostess at Tavolino.
Oh,
wait,
that's
And
fun.
that's where my restaurant experience ended.
Right.
But coming into this, Christina has always being her sister, we've discussed the business often.
Okay.
And she's always like asked if I was interested, and it never really crossed my mind. And then knowing that they were going to have that catalyst point of going from the 3 and they needed to do
Yeah.
that expansion. She called me one day, and I honestly was on my way to work listening to a podcast, and I'm like,
That's
I'll call her back after. And it just kept ringing and ringing.
She's like, hello.
Yeah, I'm like, let me just get her off the phone. So I answered, and she asked, and something just clicked. And, there's a lot to say about working for a family business.
Right.
And I've heard both sides of it, the negative and the positive, but being able to work alongside Christina and Eddie and see their passion and that ability to honestly, Christina like always says yes, and having that hone into great hospitality.
Well, you're
is
invested,
special.
right?
Yeah.
and and it's personal and family, but you're getting to put your own, self and pride and family name on the line, and all that is, I imagine, it is attractive, and but it's also a lot of work, a lot of
Yes.
hours.
I had it couldn't be any different than the government.
Yeah.
It's two completely different ends of the spectrum, but it has been so rewarding to work alongside them and see their growth and see them in kind of that different light of being able to have that side of them has
Right.
been something that's really special, and it's really grown our relationship surprisingly. So.
All right, so Ember and Vine on the drawing board, now actively being worked on.
Yes.
Let me ask this. So that's going to make 7.
hmm
Is he going to stop? Because then you guys got one restaurant for every day of the week.
I don't know. I asked him that last night. I was like,
That's
"Are we gonna
funny.
have a break?" They're
Are we
very
now at a
rare to
break?
turn down opportunities.
Don't let him take a
so-
vacation to
Well, that's what-
Greece
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
Europe
yeah,
or
all
South
these
America, because
places,
he's going to come
France.
back with one of,
Well,
Yes.
that's what they said. It's funny when the last show we finally got Christina to pop on. We've been trying to get her to come on the shows for like 2-3 years now. We finally got her to pop on, and we were talking with her, and oh no, she didn't pop on. She wouldn't come on because she wasn't ready.
Yeah,
But she sat down and talked with us at least, and she clued us in because Eddie's so we don't always get the details. She clued us in on a lot of things, and it was like, okay, they're embracing new concepts that work with. That's what Dear Olivia was, an offshoot of Eddie and Vinny's, and now this, where it's like, okay, they're opening it up, but always still looking toward the others to pay homage to where they've been before they go where they're going.
Yes. And I think that's something that, again, they're not ones to say no to a lot of things. And if there's opportunities and it makes sense.
And that's what she was saying. We made a face and we're like, aren't you guys slowing down? She's like, actually,
No,
these
right.
people came to us and we also have this thing, but we can't say anything. We're like, okay.
No, and Christina, obviously, she's really well suited to the hospitality industry.
yes.
I've seen her work before at Eddie and Vinny's, and
Mhm.
she's gracious and interfaces with guests and all those things. But you put a computer camera near her, she just runs away like a mouse into the corner. But luckily, she's got you. So,
Yes.
and you are, I guess, much more comfortable talking to people and communicating, and hence that's why you're now
Marketing
the
and
director
PR.
of marketing and PR for P Hospitality. Let's. I think we. You know what? Before we take the first break, one more thing I wanted to ask you, as the director of marketing and PR, is that I know Eddie and P Hospitality as a whole is very involved with the community, and you are always
Yep.
giving and going to different events, and that brings us into this week's Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. And I've got some news for you folks. I went to a great dinner last night at Even Keel. That was great. I also stopped by our friend Alex at Juan's. They had a great collab dinner with visiting chefs from Orlando.
How about you're like sending me
No.
pictures? Lubie, I should have invited you as you're eating this food with
Yeah,
these
I'm-
legendary chefs.
I'm such a
and everyone's
could use
having a
the word.
blast. I'm like,
Right.
you probably should have.
I am. It rhymes with trick. Yes. No, I realized that you could have come last night,
Yeah.
but in any event, the festival
Yeah.
continues and it rolls on. But the news is this: tonight's walk and roll event is now sold out. They sold the final tickets this morning,
Amazing.
which means tonight's walk and roll event sold out. Tomorrow's barbecue at the beach event sold out. Saturday's grand tasting sold out. The only thing that tickets remain for is the Sunday brunch. It's on its second year. It's a fun event. It's going to be taking place also at that Las Olas Beachside Park A1A in Las Olas.
I think
Boulevard,
people hear
Fort
brunch
Lauderdale.
event and they think like frou or something. Like, I don't think they realize how cool this event is.
There's only 40 tickets left. So you want to go online now to vlfoodwine.com and get those final tickets. There might be a couple of tickets left for some of the seminars and the classes that are taking place the next few nights. But all of the big ticket events basically sold out except for Sunday brunch. Go online, vlfoodwine.com. Click on it and then use the promo code Lunchbox,
Yep.
and you'll get an extra 15% savings off the already low ticket price. Now, getting back to the grand tasting, I understand that there will be some representation from P Hospitality. Is that correct?
Yes. So
Oh,
Eddie and
yay.
Vinny's will be there.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Eddie and Vinny's?
We'll
I'm
have
so
a tent
stoked.
there. We're going to be sampling a short rib tart.
Nice.
Ooh.
Short
And then,
rib tart.
and you were talking about the short rib, so
Yeah.
Ooh,
you'll have
no,
to
the
come
short
by.
is ridiculous.
And then dear Olivia will be there, and we're sampling a new menu item that'll be coming out on our next version of the menu, and it's a house-made spinach and artichoke dip.
Ooh.
Nice.
So
Oh, that's
we're
good.
hoping it'll be a little chilly. That'll warm you up a little
No,
bit.
it's supposed to
Yes,
be.
Yeah.
yes, the dips are always a big hit on the colder days. I didn't
Mhm.
look at the weather yet, but I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic day, no matter what the weather
That's
is.
amazing.
And I'm glad that you guys are taking part. Again, the grand tasting completely sold out.
Yeah.
The VIP months ago, the general admission a week or so ago. Testament to the great job that our friends Phil and Kate do with the festival. They have really gotten the community to embrace it
Yep.
and getting,
Great
P
establishments.
hospitality and great establishments. And they're very proud because they were telling me this. I didn't realize it, but at their grand tasting on Saturday, I think there's almost 80 different local
Crazy.
restaurants,
Yes.
which is the biggest biggest amount of restaurants at a one-day tasting in the country.
That's crazy.
Even South Beach has only like 40 or 50
And there's
because they
stuff in
spread it
California,
over
there's stuff
the
in New
couple of
York.
days.
Chicago. does stuff.
Aspen has a big food festival, but they only have 50 or 60. 80 local
That's
restaurants, including P Hospitality. And I don't know, maybe beg, borrow, don't steal.
No.
I don't know if there's going to be a secondary market, which is crazy.
Just follow the Instagram, and then next year buy tickets.
Yeah, next year buy tickets. So are you excited? You're going to be out there on
I'm
Saturday?
very excited. I mean, 80 restaurants is crazy. That says a lot about the dining scene in Fort Lauderdale
Bingo.
area and how great it's come back since everything. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
very exciting.
it's tremendous. And I'm both tremendously excited, but also a little bit scared because I am one of the
Or you're a judge,
judges.
right?
There's,
Oh, man.
there's 2 awards they give out and again, because it is still a festival.
Yeah.
And there's a competitive competition
sure.
component. They have both People's Choice Awards where people drop their little tokens in slots. And I am one of the panels of judges. And I'm not exactly sure how many judges there are, but we are supposed to go around and take a sample
everything?
of everything.
Oh man.
Oh, that's a lot of
Oh,
food.
snap.
And I
Well,
made
thank God it's at the end of the week.
I made a huge tactical error in even taking my Ozempic shot this week. I'm open about these things.
No, that's fine.
And,
That's what I'm saying. You take it
but
like Monday.
usually
though.
by the end this week I took it Tuesday because I
Oh,
was in
Jesus.
New Orleans and I didn't
Oh,
take it on
man.
my normal day. And I'm still eating though like a
Well,
champ.
obviously.
Gabby, I'm trying to develop a new program for a pilot for Food Network. There used to be Man v Food. I
Yes.
want to do Mayo v Ozempic because
Oh.
right now I am conquering the substance. Maybe my doctor will put me on a higher dosage, but between New Orleans last week and the festival this week,
No,
it's
good luck.
great. But wait, there's more because also next week you guys are taking part in another event. Is that right?
Yeah, so we'll be at our Junior Achievement Uncorked.
Oh, that too. I'm
Yeah.
going to be
Oh, I'm
part
sorry.
of it. Yeah, no,
Yes,
no.
we'll be there.
You're there at all the things
We're
I'm
at
going to be at.
everything.
It's
And-
great. So let's do it in a row.
Yes,
First grand tasting at the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival this Saturday.
yes,
Sold out, sorry. But there are still tickets for next Thursday.
yes.
The boxing and cheesesteak battle that our friend Evan Darnell is holding with the Red Meat Lovers Club,
Yep.
correct?
Dear Olivia is going to be competing in that with a cheesesteak. So we're really excited. That's on Thursday with the Red Meat Lovers Club.
Yes, Thursday the
nailed it.
29th with the commander in beef, Evan
Evan
Darnell. He's
a
a
title.
character. No, he does a
He's
great
funny.
job
He's a funny guy.
networking, and they raise money for
He's a really
various
good guy.
charities. And this is one of their annual events where they combine a night of boxing, amateur boxing at the Delray Boxing Club, with a food competition. They've done meatballs in the past. They've done barbecue in the past. This year, they're doing cheesesteaks. Cheesesteaks seems to be all the rage. And they've got a nice lineup, including Dear
Yeah.
Olivia. So I'm
Yes.
looking forward to that. I don't know if they have a judge. I might be one of the judges there too. I don't. This is what happens when you're a semi-retired former award-winning food critic. So they somehow always rope me in, and I love working with Evan. And you could get tickets for that. There are still tickets available for that, and you just go online to the website ribcagebattle.com. Even though there's no ribs this year,
Yeah.
they kept that website because that goes directly to the ticket buying site, ribcagebattle.com. Or go check out all their events at rmlclub.com, Red Meat Lovers Club, but rmlclub.com, and you can get tickets for the boxing and cheesesteak battle. And if you use the promo code Mayo, you get an extra $20 off the ticket
Oh,
price.
wow.
So
That's great.
I'm also a one-man marketing and public relations machine here on the
That's a
Lunchbox.
great
But I
deal.
love getting involved with all these great things. And I'm so glad, again, like I was saying, P Hospitality. It seems like Eddie really loves to get involved with all these different events. It's a good marketing vehicle for you guys.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different avenues that really work for us. We have so many different demographics of all of our restaurants that these food and wine festivals and the different areas where we're able to go out and set up are huge marketing tools for us, and
Yeah.
we get great return on them. And it's something that we really like doing. And the charity aspect of it is something that also really works well with our commitment.
And because your restaurants are spread about, so even if somebody doesn't live up in Parkland or Coral Springs, you could say, "Hey, but we've got a places in Boca Raton.
Yep.
If you live on the east side, go to Corvina." Yeah, so
Yes.
it's a very wise move to be involved.
Mhm.
And you mentioned number 3, which I thank you because I forgot about. But I was in contact with Nicole, our friend, who
Nicole
used to work.
Kovar.
Yeah,
Oh,
Nicole
nice.
Kovar is also handling. It's the Junior Achievement. They call it
Nice.
Uncorked. And it's the night of Saturday, January 31st, up in Coconut Creek, I believe,
Yes.
somewhere. And so tell us, you're going to be also, it's
Yep.
Eddie and Viddy's, or which?
So it is going to
restaurants?
be Dear Olivia and Corvina that will
Okay.
be there.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Nice. And that's a nice, great event. Involves wine and a lot of local restaurants also in that Northwest corridor.
yeah.
Uncorked. I really should know the website to get the tickets, but if you Google Junior Achievement Uncorked, it'll come up right away, and you can still get tickets to that. And that is also Saturday night, January 31st. So a couple of big eating weeks coming up for me. You know what happens in February, Gabby?
What?
Diet and dry February. No more drinking and no more
He
eating.
tries to
in
slow
February,
down.
except when I come on the show. And
Well, we have
Brings
mocktails at all of our restaurants.
That's
so-
good.
There you go.
That's it. Hey, let's take our first break, and then we'll come back and we'll chat a little bit more about other goings-ons here at all the P Hospitality restaurants after these words on the Lunchbox. A tradition for South Florida sports fans for more than 30 years, Shenanigans. It's at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, the place to go for all your favorite teams and events and food that's not your ordinary sports bar fare. Award-winning wings, burgers, fresh fish, and more, TV screens galore, and all-day happy hour specials. The kitchen and bar are open into the wee hours, perfect for late-night bites and very close to the airport. For playoff action, football season, and a good time anytime, Shenanigans. Looking for inspired comfort food in a cozy setting? Blue Collar in Miami is the place to go. Located at 6789 Biscayne Boulevard, it moved to bigger digs a year ago, now has full liquor, and still features all your old favorites from chef owner Danny Surfer. Fantastic burgers, the braise of the day, and the city's best key lime pie. And drink specials every day. Open daily with weekend brunch. For reservations and information, go to bluecollarmiami.com. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for Sunday brunch and Taco Tuesdays, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-face smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, for great pizzas, pastas, and Italian comfort classics, you gotta check out Camille's Pizzeria and Ristorante. It's located at 4165 North Dixie Highway in Oakland Park. They're open every day but Tuesday, featuring lunch, dinner, and they've just launched a great new happy hour on weekdays, 5 to 7 p.m., featuring all kinds of drink specials, $10 light bites, and a great 3 for $20 appetizer special. It's a true mom and pop shop run by a great couple, John and Maya. He grew up in Queens, and his pizzas and signature chicken parmesan are fantastic. Takeout and delivery available. Go to Camille'sFTLauderdale.com for reservations and information. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, upscale food in a down-home setting, the chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back.
I feel
on
bad. The
Lunchbox.
conversation's off the air.
We're
It's just
having
as fun as
no,
the
we're having a good
conversation's on
conversation
there.
about
I
the
really
new
like this
media
guy.
environment. You look, I worked at newspapers for 30 plus years as a food critic for 6 years. You were Lubie were in radio for 20 years.
Yeah.
Gabby came from municipal government, and it's a new world now with
100%.
social media and influencers and regular people being critics and people coming on and just writing about one bad experience. Somebody might
And getting
have
treated
one
like a
off day-
30-year
off
writer.
day. Right. But that's one of the things I like about the Let's Eat South Florida group is that it is a big hive of people.
Yep.
And unlike Yelp, where things are kind of manipulated, like somebody posts something that follows the rules. I don't like when people unfairly flame a place, but then people will jump to
Bingo.
a place's defense. And then you get a sense of, is this person just being unfair? Or if you see 100 comments saying, I've been there and it was great, then it's kind of like that person's off base. And sometimes I try to be civilized as the admin in chief, but sometimes something makes my blood boil because it's obviously everybody's entitled to a bad day. Nobody wants it. You want perfection in the
100%.
restaurant industry. And I know you guys, and Eddie's always been upfront because when we come on the show, sometimes we'll talk about things that have been on the group.
Yep.
And then I get to talk about how I really feel, which is that, look, sometimes a server will have a bad day and will forget you and not check up and see if your dish is okay or refill your water glasses, but have a little bit of grace and then maybe mention something to a manager on the way out, and they'll have a talking to the person like, hey, you really got to pay attention. I mean, what's your view of it now in your new role, a relatively new role, of how this all works and how you guys handle these things?
I mean, realistically, our eyes between all of us see pretty much everything that goes out there.
Mhm.
So we have a phone system now where people call in. If it gets flagged as a complaint, we automatically get an email. We can look up all the calls relative to them.
Wow.
both the good and the bad of AI. I know a lot of people are
Yep,
against
yep.
the AI phone systems,
I
but
hate them.
it's
My
able
wife loves all
to,
that stuff.
yeah, it helps on our
As a
end.
marketer, she's in
Yeah.
marketing, so
It helps on our end
she's a big
because
fan.
we get flagged on what some of the issues are. And if
Mhm.
there's a continued issue or something that we, how many years didn't have these systems and
Yeah,
had no
yeah.
idea that this was taking place. And
Mm.
there's training points. We're always growing. We're always bringing in new people. There's stuff that it helps us control our quality across the board.
And I think you just hit on a key word, which is
Interesting.
training. So many places now
Yep.
don't do the proper training.
Yep.
Don't invest in that. Don't
Yep.
spend the extra week or 2 weeks and just throw people on the floor.
Mhm.
And that to me is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, especially with the feedback. Listen, this is South Florida. There's a lot of people with opinions at all times, but we want the
Let's
feedback.
complain, South Florida. Let's kvetch the kvetchers, as
Let's
I
kvetch,
called
yeah.
them in Brooklyn, where I grew up.
I think the biggest thing, and this was something that was really interesting to me coming from no hospitality background into the hospitality field, 9 times out of 10, if you say something at the restaurant, it's something on the restaurant level that we can flag as, oh, this is something we need to address. We can't be involved in every
So
single
you've watched our show?
interaction.
That's something Mayo talked about for 3.5 years.
Right. And people still don't,
And they don't do it.
And like it's not like it's going to be taken negatively at the restaurant level.
No.
Give us the opportunity to fix it, and 9 times out of 10 we will. And if we can't, then there's always ways, especially in P hospitality, to get a hold of one of us directly.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I can tell you every single contact us form on any of our websites come to my email directly, and it gets sent to the GM. We all are included in it. If it's an issue, we'll call you at any time of the night.
Right.
It's just so much easier to handle it on a one-on-one basis and be able to address
Right.
it.
And people want to just felt seen and
Yeah.
heard
Bingo.
and acknowledged. And I wish they would do it in person at the time of service, because that's the easiest way to rectify things. And
Yeah.
good operators like P Hospitality, they want to hear when something is gone a little bit off at the time of service, because then they could fix things right on the spot, right?
Yeah. And honestly, it really is. I understand it's uncomfortable in the restaurant setting sometimes to say something, but there's always an opportunity to contact us on the side. We have
Mhm.
contact us forums. You can always email the restaurant or give us the call. Sometimes is a little hard to get through to someone during the regular day
Yeah.
of operations, but always go on our website, send us a contact us form. We always follow up with all of them.
Right.
And we take everything seriously. We don't want you to have a bad experience in our
Yeah.
restaurant. That's something that's really important to us. You're not just another number. We're creating these memories with people, and if we can do something that can address it and train the staff, it's always changing,
Right.
and be able
Yeah.
to provide some insight, then I think moving forward, it opens it up, because someone might say something that affected 5 other people
Yeah.
and they haven't said anything. So always just let us know. It's always, it's a lot easier on our end to address it.
When Mayo talks about, people, sometimes, I guess, playing devil's advocate, people are scared of confrontation. Just because it's online and no one's in your face, you're committing like you are confronting something when you do it online still. Like, that's my problem with it is, okay, yeah, I'm not one that wants to start trouble. Okay, but then I don't say any. Like, either if you want to rectify, as you're saying, the situation for yourself and even for people in the future, why would you? It's just outside of just wanting to start trouble again, you can still do that in person too. I don't there's nothing positive about doing it online.
Well, let me
Unless you're trying to, like, and I get it. That's
let
why
me
that
ask
seat
Abby
exists.
this: how many people are just looking for free stuff? Or
Yeah, but you can get it in person too, though. You
I
can
mean-
get it free in person too, though.
Well, I mean, usually if somebody is complaining about, a dish isn't right, then you take the dish off the menu, offer a replacement. And if they
Yeah.
order a replacement, you charge them for the replacement dish. You don't, or I don't know. I don't know how it works.
So I think it's really circumstantial,
Right.
and
Okay.
it really depends on what's taking place. We're human at the end of the day. Everyone in the kitchen's human. Everyone in the service staff is human. Everyone's going through different things at different times.
Right.
I think the best thing, honestly, and that, not to like beat a dead horse, but say something. And
Say something, and then usually a good manager will say, "What can we do to make you happy?"
Bingo.
yeah,
Right.
and that's something that's on all of our trainings with management is we want you to leave feeling like
Right.
you were heard and you had a good experience. And it really, it's not that it's a pain or that we get frustrated with it or anything like that. We just want to know what can be done to meet
All right,
people's
well,
expectations.
You guys have to be hospitable to guests. I don't have to be. So let me just lay down a couple of my rules, on the guest perspective. Okay. When they say, "How can we make you happy?" saying, "Oh, I want the whole meal free and a bottle of wine," that's not reasonable. All right. And number 2, You know, if you've taken more, Larry David on Curb Your Enthusiasm had this exactly right because it aligned with what I was thinking. Is if you take more than 2 bites from a dish
You like the dish.
and you try to send it back and say, you know, if you ate like, you know, this much of the daily special hero, which by the way, it is $15.
$15.
We
$15
misspoke earlier.
a wonderful price.
It seemed too good.
Yeah, I
but
was like,
15
wow.
is still a great value,
Are you
especially
serious?
considering the
all
quality
house made.
and the quantity. You could eat half of these and take it home. But if you eat this much of a sub and have this on the plate and say, by the way, it was way too salty, I hated it, I couldn't eat it, you're
You
not getting a
sure?
refund on that.
I couldn't eat it.
And
just
you
ate
don't
it.
have to say it. I do. Okay, I'm here
I didn't say that.
to teach these people
The
because
hospitality did not say any of the things
No.
that are just are being said right
they
now.
could yes.
They would probably help
But
you
this
because they
gets
want
my
to help.
goat because I see things. Look, I was a professional critic. I also took the side of the guest, and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you're paying good money, hard-earned
There
money.
are restaurateurs that do it wrong. Like no one's saying there.
Right.
Every restaurateur goes out of their way, but most of them do.
And it's a two-way street. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. The guest also has a responsibility to do things in a correct
For
manner.
sure.
All right, thank you, Gabby. I didn't mean to put you on
No,
this
it's okay.
spot.
Moral of the story: say something. If
Yeah.
something's wrong, just say something
Right.
to us.
And they'll
But
fix it.
I violated my own rules last night when it came to a guy
Well, someone did.
that
So
was
someone
smoking
brought
the
up.
cigar
they
down
would
the
have-
lane.
I'll let you give the story,
right.
but someone had a solution. That is what I told you I would have done.
Well, okay, so this
And
happened
we have one more
last
break,
night.
by the way.
I know we
Remember
have
that.
one more break, and I guess let's get into it after the break.
Yeah,
Gabby,
yeah.
if you want to
If
stay
she wants to leave, she
around
can. If
for
she
my
wants to.
cigar, invasive cigar smoke that kind of, it didn't ruin my meal. I had a great time last night at Even Keel, and it had nothing to do with the restaurant or the festival. It had to do with some schmo that's sitting in front of an ice cream parlor not 10 yards away from. And Even Keel, it's an outdoor restaurant. It doesn't. It has an indoor component, but
Yeah.
it's open
It's
air.
open.
And where I was seated, because it was a sold out festival dinner, and I got there a little late. I did pay my own way, by the
You
way.
did. He totally paid.
But me and Val, we got there. We got seated on the outside bar area, like these seats that along the Raw bar, right there on Commercial Boulevard. And at the store right next door, which is Sloan's Ice Cream, there was a guy who was sitting there, not with an ice cream cone, but with a coffee that he purchased from Sloan's and a big old fat stogie. And the wind was blowing directly downwind, east to west, and like his cigar, even when every time he took a puff, and even when it was just sitting at his side, the smoke was coming right into my face in the middle of a meal. And the question which I left was, and he wasn't just there for 10 minutes or 15 minutes. He sat there the entire, it was like we were there for 2 hours. He showed up like 15 minutes into our sitting down. He was there when we left, which was, you know, like an hour and
Drinking coffee,
45
like,
minutes
I know.
later, just drinking coffee, looking at his phone.
And it's not a cigar store, too. That's the other thing. It's
And that's
freaking
what I
ice cream
said.
shop.
It's sitting in front of an ice cream shop on a sidewalk
kids and
at
stuff
a
eat
little
there, like-
table. So, like, what do I do? Do I go up? I actually walked down the block, and I kind of
Yeah,
gave him that glance, the slight stink eye. But the guy was just like on his phone.
Give a crap.
The cigar was here. He's on his phone, and he's giving off that Dennis Leary. You know that video, Dennis Leary, where
Like,
he's smoking the
screw you.
cigar. A-hole. That's the name of the video. So it's like, do I go up and just nicely explain and say, hey, I'm having this, you know, this big dinner, the festival's here, and could you just maybe put out
Or
your
just
cigar
turn your
or
angle.
move, like ask politely and ask him to put it out? Option B is go into a negotiation and say, can I give you $20 or $40 to go away? And option C was just do nothing and go on social media and complain, which is usually what I tell people not to do in a restaurant.
100%.
But
Well, we'll leave it there.
but we'll leave it there,
and
we
then
will
we'll
just-
give Gabby a chance as the person who worked in government and also does marketing PR for a living.
right,
We'll let her think about it and actually give the answer that probably is the smartest one.
especially
because
in
the two
this
idiots
day
that we are wouldn't
and
do that.
age in Florida when people
Yeah, you never know. It's open carry.
open carry, closed
Yeah, you
carry,
never know.
stand your ground. So what do? Do you engage or just kind of suck it up? We'll get to that quandary. It stirred up a lot of discussion on the group today, but let's do it after these words. But first, Lubie, we got to talk about Norman Love Chocolates, Norman Love Confections right around the corner here in Boca Raton. And they also have
Yes,
another
sir.
dessert salon in Delray Beach, 1911 South Federal, right at the corner of Linton and Federal Highway. And here in Boca Raton, right behind the Town Center Mall on St. Andrews Boulevard, 21202. We were in there earlier this week, and Valentine's Day is right around the corner. And their chocolates and confections are just the perfect way to say I love you, or just give it to a friend. But with Valentine's Day coming up, you can order in advance at normanloveconfections.com. Better yet, go into one of their dessert shops, dessert salons, because then you can hand pick your own box, and they have various sizes, all price points, and just the most delicious chocolates. They have their signature flavors that are available year round, and they also have the 10 specialty flavors for Valentine's Day that we had the other day. And Norman Love, an actual human being, accomplished pastry chef who moved into the world of fine quality chocolates, and everybody who has tasted it in my world loves it, and they want more. So go to normanloveconfections.com, get your box today for Valentine's Day, and they will ship it to you, climate controlled. It arrives perfectly. And
don't wait till the last second. You don't need to wait till the last second.
All right, let's take that break, and we'll come back and we'll discuss the cigar smoker down the block and what to do after these words.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Juan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Juan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at juans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. The finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information, go to danielssteak.com. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Same great Thai food, beautiful new location. I'm talking about Eat Thai, now in Boca Raton at 6299 North Federal Highway. Thai cuisine is having a moment, and Chef Sopanut makes some of the best in South Florida. A hip and modern spot with authentic Thai street food and some innovative twists. The spicy oxtail soup, Thai bouillabaisse, shrimp ceviche, and classic noodle dishes will wow you. And they now offer full liquor and craft cocktails too. Open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Go to eatthaiflorida.com for more information. All right, we're back at Prezzo Boca Raton with Gabby, the Director of Marketing and PR for P Hospitality, which is ever growing.
Yep.
6 restaurants, including
And
the
counting.
2 Prezzos, and now Ember and Vine in the works for this summer in Coral Springs, a California grilled concept, healthy food, all kinds of good libations, wines, and other things. But Gabby, real quickly before we go back into my cigar dilemma, and I'm getting beat up, which is fine. Let's talk about Corvina because we just saw the spot for it, and I know it's become so popular. Great seafood on the east side of Boca, Plaza Real, right down the block from Palmetto, East Palmetto Park, and US 1 Federal there. But what's going on in terms of specials there now? Because I know at one point Crazy Eddie was getting crazy and had that like half price on everything,
Yes.
all during the summer. But now it's season, so that's kind of tapered off, right?
Yes. So during season right now, we have our regular happy hour from 4 to 7.
At the bar,
And that's at the bar area.
right?
Yep.
And
And then we have on Mondays a martini Monday, so it's half off martinis on
Oh, wow.
Monday at the bar area. Tuesdays we have a Taco Tuesday, so we're doing
Oh, really?
a fish or shrimp taco.
Oh, nice.
So it's a set of 2 tacos, chips, and guac for I believe it's $14.
okay.
Jesus.
I'm not doing good with prices.
Okay, yeah.
So
Just leave the price
Go
out.
check
Just you get a
online.
good
It's
deal.
way
on
less
it,
than
yeah.
you think.
and we also have $5 margaritas. I know that price is correct.
That's
so
a good deal.
that's yeah.
Jesus.
And then on Wednesdays, we have Wine Wednesday. So if you're into wine, we're doing a dinner for 2, and it's 3 courses. And then you also get a bottle of wine, and it's a cake bread wine, or I believe Josh. But again, it's on our website. So that would be the best place to look at all that information. The whole menu is on our website. And that's on Wednesdays. And then Thursdays, we do an extended happy hour
Oh, wow.
over at the bar. And then Friday and Saturday is Corvina Beach Club, which is our take on celebration style dining.
Nice.
We have a DJ and we turn on the lights and it gets really fun. It's a great opportunity to have bigger parties come in and celebrate without having to do like buyouts of the restaurant. Just a really fun atmosphere throughout the night. We have some different menu items. And also Corvina's menu, we have made some updates on it. So there's
Okay.
now a handheld section where we feature tacos on it every day
All
of the
time.
week,
Oh, nice.
as well as a tuna sandwich, similar to the one that's at Dear Olivia. That's really popular. We have a smash burger on there now.
Oh wow!
Oh,
Everybody loves
wow.
the smash
That
burgers.
smash burger's a
Yep,
hit at Dear
especially
Olivia.
at Dear
Yes.
Olivia, really good.
Yes, and then we have some new appetizers. So we have the egg rolls that are really popular at Dear Olivia. You can get them at Corvina now.
Okay.
So
Nice to see
there's
there's
been
some
Oh, you're
cross
passing over.
pollination and
Yes.
things that are to hit at one location. Now
Mhm.
you're going to transfer and bring it over, let everybody else enjoy it. So that's
Yes.
great. And Corvina Seafood Grill has some really high quality, all kinds of fish and seafood dishes. It's a really nice dining room area too. All right. So but this summer you might be bringing out some more of those
Yeah, so-
like past specials, but
Yeah.
quite sure.
Keep an eye on all of our social media, and our websites are pretty up to date as
Mhm.
soon as stuff gets released. So coming out of season, I'd keep an eye on some of the cool things that we're doing. We're going to try to mix everything up. So
Okay.
we'll get an idea.
Sounds good. All right, now back to cigars. Now, here's in defense of myself. I expect if I go to a cigar bar, or even there are some restaurants now that are becoming cigar friendly. They have patios that are separate from an enclosed indoor dining
Yeah,
room. You were
fine.
mentioning that Eddie and Vinny's is doing something along those lines.
Yeah, so we're working on it. It should be up and running within the next week or 2, but a little area that's kind of honed off for cigars away from the
Yeah.
dining area.
And I used to be a cigar smoker, especially like if I was on the golf course, and you expect it in certain areas. If you're on a golf course, if you're in a cigar bar, but in front of an ice cream shop, which is usually where kids are, and you're not having an ice cream cone, but
Yeah,
having a
that's-
cup of coffee, and you're lingering there for
That's
2
horrible.
hours. I was, and again, people are saying, why didn't you just move inside? Well, the inside, and it's not.
It was
There's
full.
no.
It
There's
was
no
full.
real inside in Even Keel. It's an open air
Doesn't matter, it was
establishment.
full.
They were protected from the cigar smoke, but it was completely full. It was sold out. There was no seats I could move to.
Yeah.
And so I basically was where I was. And the question is, I don't want to start involving the restaurateurs because they were slam
They had a
busy
ton going
getting,
on.
a special dinner and coursing out, a million things with all the visiting chefs and dealing with guests and their friends and family that were there too. So I didn't want to necessarily put the onus on them.
Yeah.
So, I just chose in the end to do nothing because people are crazy today. You read stories about people getting cut off in traffic or giving people the
100%.
finger, and next thing you know, they're getting, shot or whatever. So
Yeah, you don't know.
I am a big wimp, and and instead I became a keyboard warrior this morning and just said, it would really be nice if people had some self-awareness and
I'm
just
saying, what cigar lasts 2 hours too? Like, did he start?
it was a
second
very
cigar?
big and very big cigar and
I
a very
smoke
stinky
cigars.
cigar.
They don't last 2 hours.
Well, if he puffed on it and actually smoked it
yeah, he
instead of
wasn't
letting it just
smoking it.
sit
That's
there,
what it was.
talking about ember and vine, this was ember. It just kept burning and burning, and then every 5 minutes he'd take a big draw on it and then just do the Dennis Leary
the long puff.
a-hole puff. A cloud of noxious fumes would waft my way right in the middle of a great thing. I know we're going overtime. Do you
No,
have
you're
any
fine.
thoughts on how you would have handled it or what I could have done?
So we do get a lot of requests for cigar smoking in the restaurants, and that's something where a lot at Eddie and Vinny's as well, just because of the
Well, it has that
demographic that's
vibe.
at
Yeah,
Eddie
yeah.
and Vinny's.
Well, they have a Florida Clean Indoor Air Act, so you can't
Mhm.
smoke cigarettes or cigars in a indoor public space like a
Yeah.
restaurant. Outdoors is a little murkier, and
Yeah.
and especially in a beach area or a park, and then it gets a little trepidatious, so
Mhm.
I'd say. And I don't know what the answer is, but I just basically sat there. I'm not going to say suffer because the food was so good, but it definitely didn't ruin the experience in any way. But it just definitely would have been better if I didn't have to deal with the smoke. But
I
it's-
don't know what you do.
it's one of
It's a
those things
double-edged
that I've
sword.
never really encountered it before. Because usually you could just move to another area, move to another seat.
See that, and someone said on there, you just asked nicely, and I myself said, yeah, I personally would ask nicely. And as I'm thinking about it, it's like the problem with asking nicely is if you go and ask nicely, and then he's a jerk. Now it actually does take over your whole meal.
Then it
Now all you're
escalates,
going to
yeah.
think about,
Right.
it's all you're going to do. You're now going to tell your partner. You both are going to talk about that the entire meal. You're going to stare at him. Like, instead of it just being there, once you do that, if he does not respond, and if he's doing it in the first place, he probably is not going to respond in kind.
He was giving, and I hate to prejudge.
It's going to
people.
make it worse.
He had like a New York Yankees. I don't know if it was a cap. He seemed like one of those
He's a Yankee fan. so it has to
douchey
be
New
a-
Yorkers.
As you're a douchey New
He's
Yorker.
giving off douche vibes. I just didn't
You're a
want to
Met fan, so that means
engage.
you're not a douchey.
I'm
New Yorker.
making Gabby very uncomfortable. I'm sorry.
This is no representation
No
of
representation of hospitality.
This has
right,
nothing to
right.
do with pee. You
Has
guys
nothing
have
to do
things
with
amazing.
Eddie, tell Eddie. Sorry, no,
No, Eddie.
Eddie likes talking about different
Yeah, he
things that
talks
you
about
encounter
issues,
in
100%.
restaurants, and again, had nothing to do with the festival.
No.
Had nothing.
And
to
I
do
wouldn't
with
blame
even
the ice
keel.
cream place either. I mean, it happens. And I like that you bring these up, and I'm curious to see how people.
So I did
Say
see
to
a
handle
couple. Some people saying I should have called the ice cream parlor and told them that they had a guy that
Call
was
them. I mean,
just
you can go into
and that they would just, the guy was sitting there. It's one thing if you have your ice cream and you move on for the night.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he's
yeah.
just like, I guess he
Camping
had no
out.
other place to go, but he's camping out at a table with a coffee at a place where kids are usually
bingo.
hanging
That's
out.
my issue.
But again, it was 9:00 at night. They really weren't doing a lot of traffic. The best actually suggestion I just saw is from one of my former colleagues at the Sun Sentinel, Kathy Laughlin, says it's too bad they didn't have a big fan around and you could have plugged in the fan and just blew the smoke back
Yes.
into his
Yes, that's
face or general direction, and I wouldn't have to deal with it. So, all right. Well, these are the things that diners sometimes encounters, and like I said, I've been around the block. I usually know how to handle a lot of
Yeah.
situations.
that's a
but
different one.
but
That's
that
an
one
interesting one,
tripped
yeah.
me up. It definitely tripped me up. But again, kudos to Brad and Dave at Even Keel and Pushkar Marath from Stage. He has one right here in Boca. And Dean James Max, who has his new restaurant, Breakpoint, at also around the corner from the new the Italian place in
Oh, Amante's.
Amante's, yeah. But Dean James Max, it was great meal. They put together some really spectacular dishes, and that's what we expect at the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. All right, so Any final parting thoughts, Gabby? Just we covered all the territory.
No, I think if you haven't been to one of our restaurants, we'd love to have you in. We really hone in on that genuine hospitality. And again, if you have any issues, please let us know because we
Yes.
can address it
Right.
on site and in advance. And
That's
that helps us grow as a company.
a good thing to remember. So, and one last thing, Lubie, I'm not the only one who can't remember the new Dolphin coach's name because our friend Pat Utter at Shenanigans Sports Pub down in Dania just sent me a Twitter post from somebody who has a clip of Dolphins owner
Ross
Stephen
got it
Ross appears to have forgotten the name of the
Oh,
team's
my
new head coach at his introductory press
my
conference. So not
They were
only
such a
I
disaster.
can I remember Jeff Hafley. I keep thinking
That's
of
his
Jeff
name.
Hadley.
Stephen Ross is such a.
All right.
Jesus,
Well,
don't even get me started.
that's another
Just come to
topic
Prezzo,
for
and
another
then
day.
it'll help you get over your
Yes.
Dolphins
Come
frustrations.
in, have some of their $15 lunch specials. It'll put you in a great mood, no matter what the Dolphins are doing. Given day. Gabby, thanks so
Gabby,
much. Give
thank
our
you. Thank
regards
you.
to Christina
Hey,
and Eddie
and Christy.
and the whole team.
Awesome.
And we'll do it again next month. Who knows
Yes.
where? And
Who knows what news they'll have?
yeah, who knows what other announcements and openings. But no, it's all about Ember and Vine, and I can't wait to
Yeah,
see
I'm
it because
stoked.
I
We're
know it's
very
going to be great.
excited. Yeah, follow along on social media. We'll be sharing that process as we
Nice.
do it.
All good. All right, that's it for today, guys. We'll be back tomorrow at our
Stream.
usual Friday Gulfstream 10 Palms. Going to be a big weekend out
Yeah,
there. Pegasus Championship.
Who knows what will be?
10th anniversary. And the day before the Pegasus is tomorrow, and they get a big crowd out there. 700 people are going to be at 10 Palms. We're going to be
We
shoved
may
off
be in the
to
parking
side.
lot somewhere.
But
tomorrow.
that's okay.
We'll be there.
Joe Beja will take great care of us, and we love going out to the races and having some great food and hospitality out at Gulfstream Park. It's going to be a great weekend. All right, that's it for today. Thanks to everybody here at Prezzo. Thanks to P Hospitality, and enjoy every pasta, pizza, and sandwich.
What makes it the